Hey, what's going on, guys? Chris Flick here. Chris Flick Podcast, episode number 158. Now, I want you guys to think back in the day. You know, when you were growing up, what are some of these memories that you had? What are some of these memories that seem to last forever, right? For me, it was, we're playing basketball, we're playing football, we're playing tag, we're riding our bikes around town. We get the hockey nets out, right? We put them in the street. When a car comes, everybody yells, car! We move the stuff, right? I already went over this a little bit in a previous episode. Those are the memories that I have. Those are the memories that I will probably keep forever. Now, those memories that I had, they all associated around physical activity. So when you're out playing all of these things, think about how many times, when you're playing basketball, say, how many times do you have to start, stop, change direction, cut? How many times do you do that in a game? In addition to that, there's passing lanes involved in a sport like basketball. When you're defending somebody in football or basketball or soccer, right? You have to identify reacting to a stimulus, the person you're covering, right? So you got to have total focus. You got to be able to read their hips, so to speak. You have to be in a position to defend almost at all times. And the more you play games, the more practice you get doing it. The more you could do that in an unstructured environment, the more willing you'll be to try out new techniques, to try out new strategies, because you don't have a parent or an adult or a coach telling you not to do it a certain way, right? When kids are out playing by themselves, they will feel more comfortable trying out new skills. They will be more comfortable trying out new techniques. And because of that, they will grow. That growth will translate into better athleticism. That athleticism is going to translate into them being better at their sport. So you don't have to play soccer all year round. You don't have to play basketball or baseball all year round. For multiple reasons. The reason I'm talking about right now is that you could get quality training, quality skill practice, quality skill acquisition just by getting out and playing almost every day. But because kids are not playing every day, because they're focusing on one or two sports, they kind of get narrow. Their skill set kind of gets a little bit narrow. It's not as wide as we'd like it to be. The wider your skill set is, the more skill you're going to be able to pack on top of that. Think about the pyramid. The wider the base, the taller it could be built. That is literally just ways that you could get in training and practice for sport, right? In addition, if you're only playing one sport, you got the increased likelihood of burnout, you've got the increased likelihood of injury, right? So that's one side of the facts. That's the physical side of things. There's also the mental, the socioemotional side of things. When kids aren't playing, they aren't growing. Since 1955, free play has just been on the decline. There's no way around it. That's a fact. Drive through the local town where we used to see kids playing basketball all the time. That court's been empty for a good solid decade. It's just not happening the way it used to. From 1981 to 1997, all right, there's some statistics here. Kids, 18% more time in school, 145% more time doing schoolwork, 168% more time shopping with parents. A lot of this stuff that they're doing is with an adult, with a parent, with a coach, with a teacher, whatever it is, right? It's structured. There's rules. This is what we're doing. There's not a lot of exploration there. Kids are lacking in the exploration department because everything that they're doing is so structured. And because it's so structured, kids don't have the opportunity to make decisions for themselves. They don't have control of their actions. They're not able to solve their own problems. Usually somebody comes in and solves them for them, right? So if you're thinking about a basketball game and kids are out there playing, they make their own rules, they pick their own teams, things seem to go okay. The moment things get a little crazy is when a coach comes around or a parent comes around and they start interjecting, and then the kids don't feel comfortable speaking up, and the kids will just follow the lead of the adult because that's kind of what they're taught to do, right? They lose the ability to problem solve. They lose the ability to kind of work out what it is to be a teammate. And in the end, this is what's going to hurt them socioemotionally. As they get older, they're going to feel less resilient. They're going to feel like they're less in control of their fate and their environment. And when that happens, things like anxiety and depression are going to kick in. So we need free play to be introduced wide scale, right? School, practice, whatever it may be. If you're a coach, give the kids the first 10 minutes of practice to just play. Play whatever the game might be. It could be your warm-up. You're working with 10-year-olds, 11-year-olds. Let's just play. We're a soccer coach, right? We're playing soccer for 10 minutes. Game on. You play football. You're 7-on-7. Do some passing stuff. Have some fun with it. Ultimate football. I don't even know what games, Any game could literally be played. You could even just let the kids decide what you're going to play and how you're going to play it. Now, the more they talk and the more they discuss, that's going to cut into the 10 minutes. So you roll the ball out there, you get out of the way, and you let them sort it out. If you can introduce stuff like that into practice, you're going to realize if you do it first thing, kids are going to start showing up on time because they know the fun is in the beginning of practice. Kids will be on time. Kids are going to have better attitudes. They're going to be feeling better. All right? They need to know that at the 10-minute mark, game's over. We're getting on to our training now. All right? That's one thing that you're going to have to do. That could be one potentially challenging thing that you're going to have to do, reeling them back in after that fun. All right? But they're going to have to do it. If you're a parent, right, kids are going to say, like, I just want to play one sport. All right? That same kid could also say, I just want to eat candy all the time. You need to step in as a parent and say, you're not going to eat candy all the time, and you're not just going to play one sport. We're going to do different things here. I don't care what it is, but it's got to be something else. All right? You're the parent. You know what's best for them. So obviously you want to try to nudge them in the right direction, but if it gets down to it, you might just have to step in there and say, you know what? We're taking a break. All right? And you're going to focus on something else. Because like we already talked about, your skill set's going to get narrow when you do one thing. Increased risk for injury, increased risk for burnout. Keep the end game in mind. If you want this kid involved in sports for a while, let's not burn out. If you want kids physically active, let's not get injured. All right? And if you want kids to have a large fundamental base to build from, let's introduce variety to their lives. And if you want them to be strong, resilient kids, let them handle situations by themselves. Give them a little bit of unstructured. Give them a little bit of flexibility to work through problems on their own. And the more that they do that, the more comfortable they will feel doing that. So when one of these big issues does arise when they get older, guess what? They're comfortable doing it because they've been doing it their whole life. All right? Let's get play back involved, man. Let's get these kids out of the house, having a little bit of fun, and parents, adults, teachers, whatever it may be, breathe a sigh of relief. Step away and let the kids have some fun. Chris Look Podcast. It's available on YouTube, Apple, Stitcher, Google. All right. ChrisFlook.net has the episodes there. ChrisFlook.net has a pop-up that says we have one heck of a newsletter. Every Sunday, I put out a newsletter that comes at 7:30 a.m., comes directly to your inbox, and it's all about the random stuff that's going through my mind over the course of the week. And let me tell you, it's usually varied, it's usually random, and it might be a little crazy at times. The newsletter is practically a thought experiment. Whatever's going through my head, I put it down, I put it out there, and if I get some feedback and I get some discussion from people, that's what I'm looking for. Also, I just started this, a monthly newsletter to anybody that had a kid come through the gym. I will be sending out, like the next month, this article is going to be involved. It's going to have aspects of play, right? Each month I'm going to send out something geared towards adults, geared towards parents, coaches, teachers, just to try to give them some different ideas on how to encourage physical activity in any of the children that they encounter. Hope you guys like this one. Peace!